Rat Does Pills and exclusive. Come slide.
Yo, what's up, world? We back another episode of the DailyDillz. Thank you, everybody that supported the first episode of the DailyDillz, and we back. We gonna keep this shit consistent. We gotta at least try to drop 3 to 4 times a week. Why not? Let's get it. Yo, we got a big announcement from Memphis Bleek. He's just announced that his official brand new album will be dropping June 20th. The album is called Apartment 3D. Now, that name is important because Apartment 3D is the apartment that he grew up in Marcy Projects. Marcy Projects is important because that's where he met his mentor, his big homie, Jay-Z. That's the projects that raised him. Everybody know Memphis Bleek is synonymous with Marcy Projects. So expect this album to probably be really personal, to have some references to his past. So it's been 13 years since Memphis Bleek dropped a full-length project. The last project he dropped was Kush Gang Volume 2 in 2012. So this is a really big deal. You know, Bleek don't have to drop no music, so it's just dope that he's in a space where he wants to drop some music. That's why I think the music he's been putting out in the last year has been coming out so well, because he's in a space of, like, he has a hunger to get back in the game and keep releasing, but he also isn't working out of a space of desperation. Bleek is good, and we see some of the moves that he's making that puts him in a position to be good, with being one of the heads of Duce, with his real estate plays, with his cannabis line that he has that's very successful. But let's just talk about some of the records that he's dropped in the last year that's been, like, really building it up so his fans and supporters could get excited for this album. So he started off, his first drop was Durag Bleek, and on Durag Bleek, he got Just Blaze out of the dungeon. He got, you feel me, we haven't heard Just Blaze in a minute. He got Just Blaze to produce the record, and it gave us that classic Rockefeller sound. Like, it wasn't even like a trying too hard type of thing. Like, the beat was fire, Bleek's verse was fire. Durag Bleek, it really felt like a nostalgic Durag Bleek, but it also felt very 2024, 2005 as well. So, like, that record went crazy. That really just set it off and opened everybody's eyes to, like, oh, wait a minute. We do still want some Bleek. We do still want this right here. And, you know, and then he dropped Bands Up. Bands Up with Crazy. That's more of like a club vibe record, you know. Then he dropped Three Kings. Three Kings was such a moment for hip hop. It was him, Benny the Butcher, and Smoke DZA. That record went crazy. Just another dope moment for Bleek. And then he dropped Still Rock. Still Rock was a super fire record because he's talking his talk on that. So, like, these records is all doing really well, especially for a legacy act. Like, these records is all doing numbers. He dropped videos for all of them. Like, he's not just playing with these records. We are yet to know if these records will be on the album Apartment 3D, but if they are, they'll definitely fit well, because, like, these records are timeless. These aren't records that's only gonna sound good at this time. So it'd be dope if these records are on the album, and if this is what we got to look forward to for the album, we got something really dope about to drop, man. And the quality. Let's talk about the quality of how these records are sounding. So I did see a comment from the great, legendary engineer, Young Guru. Young Guru said he's locked in for the mix. He's mixing the whole album. So that's really dope. Feel me? Like the sound of an album really counts. It really plays a part. You got Bleek's engineer from the start putting his hands on this album. Like, that's only going to add to this album possibly becoming a classic or being a classic. Now, if you look at the image, it looked like Memphis Bleek, him as a child, is popping out of the image in a 3D form. The apartment number of his apartment building in Marcy Projects being Apartment 3D, you know? And I think that's something that he might play on with the sound and the whole promotion of this album, with, like, you know, the audio might be so crazy that shit sound 3D. I don't know. It's a lot of ways he could go with that. There's also a bullet hole. So, you know, Marcy Projects is not one of the safest places to live. Feel me? It's the trenches. It's the projects. And maybe there'll be some reminiscing on how crazy it was just growing up in Marcy Projects, and, like, maybe some storytelling on things that happened back in the day. And then, you know, it's the classic Memphis Bleek wording, and it's inside of a Polaroid, a picture, you know. So like, this is a dope cover. This is definitely a dope cover. It's one of those, you know, childhood photo covers, like some of the greatest projects that we've listened to in the past, with the having their childhood photo on the cover. So this is really dope. I'm excited for it. Apartment 3D. Let's get it. We're in a really good space for hip hop. And I say that because hip hop is finally growing up. Hip hop just turned 50. And when you really think about it, that's not even a full human lifespan. The other genres, they get the grace to where their artists could tour and make albums into their 70, 80, 90. But in hip hop, we haven't had the chance to do that yet because it's only 50 years old. We haven't lived a whole lifespan. But now we're getting into a space, and that perspective is changing, where we're seeing a wave of legacy artists like Bleek dropping new music and finding fresh momentum. The main reason I think it is because now their fans are growing up. Their fans, like I'm gonna say it one more time, hip hop is only 50 years old. So for these legacy artists, their fans are just now turning 40, 50, 30, 40, 50 years old. So we needed to give time for the fans to mature. Maybe like 10, 15, 20 years ago, when, you know, we would treat our artists like, oh, nah, he's old, he's whack, we don't want to hear him no more. That's because the fans of the music was still in their 20s. They wanted to still hear about dumb shit, or they still wanted to hear what they wanted to hear. Now that the fans are maturing, as well as the artists are maturing and they're rapping about more mature things, the fans are starting to accept their legacy artists, and they want to hear more from their legacy artists, and they want to hear that mature side of the artist that they used to be in love with. So we're definitely in a good space. Like, we see what Killer Mike just did with Michael. He won the rap album of the year. Now, will Apartment 3D be in the talks or in the standings for rap album of the year? Who knows? We'll see. I hope so, because like, that'd be really dope, and it shows that it's possible. Killer Mike is a legacy artist. Memphis Bleek is a legacy artist. They're legends, and it's okay. Our legends could still drop classics. So May marks the 20-year anniversary of 534, the fourth album from Memphis Bleek, and I actually made an animation bringing that album cover to life, and it came out really dope. It's on Memphis Bleek's page, you know, sitting in front of this computer for hours and hours just trying shit. And I definitely wanted something to commemorate that moment of 534. So I made that graphic, and he really liked it, and it came out really dope. But yeah, this is episode 2 of the DailyDillz. If you rock with this type of energy, high frequency only, tap in, subscribe, like, comment, share. We gotta keep dropping. And these episodes are going to get better and better. I'm going to get more comfortable in front of the camera with it just being me. You know, it's a little easier when it's like me and somebody else on camera because we bounce the energy. So just know this is going to get better and better, and it's going to be dope. Episode 2, DailyDillz. Thank you everybody for watching. Signing out until tomorrow.
Rat Does pills and exclusive. Come slide.